The story of Amazon does not begin in a gleaming corporate tower. It starts in a modest garage in Bellevue, Washington, in the summer of 1994. Jeff Bezos, a Princeton graduate with a sharp mind for numbers and a booming laugh, had just made a life-altering decision. He walked away from a lucrative vice president position at a Wall Street hedge fund, D.E. Shaw and Company. The reason? He saw the future, and it was online. The internet was growing at a staggering 2,300% a year. He packed his life into a car with his wife Mackenzie and drove west, drafting the business plan for his new venture along the way. Bezos wasn't just chasing a trend, he had a specific, calculated plan. The answer was books. Books were a pure commodity. A copy of Moby Dick in one store is identical to a copy in another. They were easy to ship and came in millions of distinct titles, far more than any physical bookstore could ever hope to stock. He named his company Amazon, not just because it started with the first letter of the alphabet, but because it evoked the scale of the world's largest river, a scale that mirrored his own grand ambitions from day one. The early days were defined by an almost fanatical frugality. Desks were famously constructed from cheap wooden doors purchased at Home Depot, a symbol of the company's core value to spend money only on things that truly mattered to the customer. A large bell was installed in the office and it would ring every time a customer made a purchase. On July 16, 1995, Amazon.com officially opened for business. It billed itself as Earth's biggest bookstore. Within just 30 days, and with no traditional press advertising, the company had shipped books to all 50 US states and 45 different countries. The garage was quickly outgrown, a testament to the powerful allure of convenience and endless selection. From this humble makeshift headquarters, Bezos had not just launched a website, he had fired the opening shot in a revolution that would fundamentally reshape the landscape of global commerce. One book, one box, and one customer at a time. In the frenetic gold rush of the 1990s internet boom, Jeff Bezos operated with a mantra that became legendary: get big fast. This wasn't a strategy for immediate gratification or quick profits. In fact, it was the opposite. Bezos understood that the internet was a new frontier, and the winners would be those who staked the largest claims first. Market share was the ultimate prize, not short-term earnings. He was playing a long game, convincing investors to pour money into a company that was intentionally losing vast sums in the pursuit of scale and customer acquisition. This approach was deeply counterintuitive to the old guard of Wall Street and traditional retail. This philosophy drove Amazon to relentlessly reinvest every dollar it earned, and much more that it borrowed, back into the business. The goal was to build an insurmountable lead. The money was spent on marketing to make Amazon.com a household name, on improving the website to make it faster and easier to use, and crucially on building out a network of massive fulfillment centers. In 1997, Amazon patented its one-click ordering system. This was a revolutionary concept. It allowed returning customers to purchase items with a single click of a button, bypassing the tedious process of re-entering shipping and payment information. While it seems simple today, at the time it was a stroke of genius that dramatically increased impulse buying and cemented customer loyalty. The Get Big Fast era was a high-stakes gamble. Amazon went public in 1997, and for years its stock price soared on the promise of future dominance, even as the company's losses mounted. Pundits and analysts frequently questioned the model, labeling the company Amazon bomb and predicting its imminent collapse. But Bezos remained steadfast, his focus locked on the horizon. He was not building a company for the next quarter, he was building a company for the next century. As Amazon expanded beyond books, music, movies, and electronics, a powerful, self-reinforcing business model began to take shape. Internally, Bezos and his team conceptualized this as the Amazon Flywheel, a concept borrowed from the business author Jim Collins. Bezos famously sketched it on a napkin. The idea was simple but profound. A heavy flywheel is difficult to get moving, but once it starts spinning, its own momentum helps it spin faster and faster with less effort. For Amazon, this virtuous cycle was the secret engine driving its seemingly unstoppable growth, and the blueprint for becoming the everything store. The cycle begins with a laser focus on the customer experience. By offering the lowest possible prices, Amazon attracts customers to its website. More visitors and more purchases lead to increased traffic and volume on the platform. This growing stream of customers makes Amazon a more attractive place for third-party sellers to offer their products. The influx of more sellers dramatically expands the selection of goods available on the site. This vast selection combined with low prices further enhances the customer experience, creating a better, more comprehensive one-stop shop. This superior experience then attracts even more customers, which attracts more sellers, and so on. This flywheel creates a powerful competitive moat. Lowering prices, which for most retailers would crush profit margins, became a strategic weapon for Amazon. The growth it fueled allowed Amazon to achieve greater economies of scale, especially in logistics and in technology. This scale lowered its cost structure, which in turn enabled it to lower prices even further, spinning the flywheel faster and faster. Each component of the cycle reinforces the others, creating a positive feedback loop that accelerates growth and makes it incredibly difficult for competitors to keep pace. The flywheel was the company's grand unified theory of growth, a simple drawing on a napkin that outlined the path to becoming the ultimate destination for commerce. The beauty of the flywheel was that it transformed Amazon from a simple online retailer into a platform. The new millennium brought a harsh reckoning for the internet industry. The dot-com bubble, which had fueled years of speculative frenzy, burst spectacularly in 2000 and 2001. Hundreds of e-commerce startups, many of them once hailed as the next big thing, went bankrupt. Their high-flying stock prices collapsed, and investor confidence evaporated overnight. Amazon was not immune. Its stock price plummeted by over 90% from its peak, and the chorus of skeptics grew louder than ever, predicting that Bezos's cash-burning enterprise would be the next major casualty. It was a moment of existential crisis for the young company. Yet while many of its rivals disappeared, Amazon survived. It did so because beneath the strategy of get big fast, it had been methodically building a real business with real customers and real infrastructure. The massive investments in fulfillment centers' customer service technology, once criticized as extravagant, now proved to be a critical advantage. Unlike the fly-by-night startups that were little more than fancy websites, Amazon had the physical and operational backbone to actually deliver on its promises. During this period, the company was forced to become ruthlessly efficient, cutting costs, laying off staff, and instilling a discipline that would serve it well for years to come. A pivotal moment in this era was the formal launch and expansion of Amazon Marketplace in 2000. This initiative allowed third-party sellers, small businesses, large brands, to list their own products for sale directly on Amazon.com, right alongside Amazon's own inventory. This was a brilliant strategic move. It dramatically expanded the selection of products available without Amazon needing to invest a single dollar in inventory. By the fourth quarter of 2001, after 7 years of relentless investment and nail-biting losses, Amazon finally reported its first-ever profitable quarter. It was a small profit, just a few $1 million on over $1 billion in revenue, but the symbolic victory was immense. It proved to a skeptical world that Bezos's model could work. If the flywheel set Amazon's growth in motion, two groundbreaking initiatives launched in the mid-2000s would act as powerful rocket boosters, propelling the company into an entirely new orbit. The first of these, introduced in 2005, was Amazon Prime. At the time, it was a radical proposition. Pay an annual flat fee of $79 and get unlimited 2-day shipping on eligible purchases. For a company that had trained its customers to expect low prices, asking them to pay for a membership was a significant risk. But, the bet paid off spectacularly. Prime did something far more powerful than just solve the shipping cost problem for frequent buyers. It fundamentally changed customer psychology. Once a customer paid the membership fee, they felt a powerful incentive to get their money's worth, consolidating their online shopping at Amazon to maximize the benefit. It transformed them from occasional shoppers into loyal high-frequency users. Prime members consistently spend significantly more on the site than non-Prime members. The second pillar, launched a year later in 2006, was Amazon Web Services, or AWS. This innovation was born from Amazon's own internal struggles and expertise. In the process of building its massive, reliable, and scalable e-commerce platform, Amazon's engineers had developed world-class capabilities in managing vast data centers and complex computing infrastructure. The leadership team had a stunning realization. This internal capability could be packaged and sold as a service to other companies. They could rent out their computing power, storage, and database services over the internet, a concept that would come to be known as cloud computing. At first, many dismissed AWS as a strange side project, a distraction from the core retail business, but it quickly became a juggernaut. More importantly for Amazon, it was, and remains, incredibly profitable. The high margins from AWS provided a massive new revenue stream that could be used to fund further price cuts and investments in the lower-margin retail business, giving Amazon an almost unfair advantage over its competitors. For years, Amazon was the undisputed king of the digital realm. The clicks threatened to make bricks, physical retail stores, obsolete. The company's identity was tied to being purely online, free from the costs and complexities of physical locations. But as Amazon's ambition grew, so did its need for a physical presence. The expansion began subtly, through acquisitions that brought brands and deep expertise in retail categories harder to dominate online. A key early move: Amazon bought Zappos in 2009 for over $1 billion. Zappos was an online shoe and apparel retailer famous for fanatical customer service, including a legendary 365-day return policy. Shoes were notoriously difficult to sell online because customers want to try them on. Zappos had cracked the code with service, and Amazon wanted to learn. The most dramatic leap came in 2017 with the $13.7 billion acquisition of Whole Foods. The move sent shockwaves through groceries and the retail sector. Overnight, Amazon gained a footprint of over 450 upscale stores in prime urban locations across North America and the UK. Groceries, especially fresh produce, had been resistant to e-commerce. Whole Foods gave Amazon an immediate high-quality beachhead and a new network of distribution hubs for services like Amazon Fresh. This clicks-to-bricks strategy revealed a broader vision. Amazon wanted to be part of every facet of a customer's shopping life. The company began experimenting with physical formats. Amazon Books, integrating online data like customer reviews into the in-store experience, and Amazon Go, a revolutionary cashierless store. Customers simply walk in, take what they want, and walk out, automatically charged. The acquisition was a masterclass in absorbing a company with a strong culture. Bezos allowed Zappos to operate largely independently. This move showed Amazon saw retail as a seamless integration of online and offline. These moves showed Amazon saw retail as a seamless integration of online and offline. Amazon wanted to be part of every facet of a customer's shopping life. While retail remained its public face, Amazon was quietly transforming into a full-fledged technology company, driven by a deep-seated culture of invention. This was most evident in its ambitious forays into hardware and artificial intelligence. In 2007, Amazon launched the Kindle, not the first e-reader but the first seamlessly connected to a massive bookstore, with a built-in cellular connection, allowing users to buy and download a book in under 60 seconds. The Kindle wasn't just a device, it was a service. Amazon's goal wasn't to make money selling the hardware, but to make it easier for people to buy and consume digital content, further spinning its content flywheel. This hardware strategy reached a new level in 2014 with the launch of the Amazon Echo and its voice-controlled AI assistant, Alexa. Like the Kindle, the Echo was a Trojan horse. It was designed to place Amazon's ecosystem into the kitchen, the living room, the bedroom. Alexa provided a new, frictionless interface for interacting with Amazon, playing music, setting timers, getting news, and most importantly, shopping. Alexa, reorder paper towels became a new way to buy, completely bypassing a screen. Underpinning all of this was a relentless, multi-billion-dollar investment in logistics. Amazon recognized that speed and reliability of delivery were paramount. The company moved from relying on partners like UPS and FedEx to building its own global transportation network, leasing its own fleet of cargo planes, developing a network of long-haul trucks, and creating its own last-mile delivery service with branded vans and gig economy drivers. This symphony of innovation, hardware, software, AI, and logistics, all worked in concert. Today, on September 22, 2025, Amazon stands as one of the most valuable and influential companies in the world, a global colossus whose operations touch nearly every aspect of modern life. Its humble beginnings in a garage have given way to a sprawling empire, with a market capitalization that regularly flirts with trillions of dollars. To understand Amazon is to understand its diverse and powerful revenue streams, which collectively demonstrate its resilience and strategic brilliance. The primary and most visible engine of the company remains its retail business. This includes sales of products on its websites around the world. This retail engine is supercharged by Prime subscriptions, which provide a steady, recurring, and high-margin revenue stream from over 200 million members worldwide who pay for the privilege of being Amazon's best customers. However, the true profit engine of Amazon lies not in its retail warehouses, but in the cloud. Amazon Web Services, or AWS, is the undisputed leader in the cloud computing industry. While AWS accounts for a relatively small fraction of Amazon's total revenue compared to retail, its high profit margins mean it consistently contributes the majority of the company's overall operating income. This river of profit from AWS gives Amazon a strategic advantage that no traditional retailer can match, allowing it to aggressively fund new ventures, absorb losses in emerging markets, and subsidize low prices in its retail division. The extraordinary journey of Amazon from a garage bookstore to a global technology titan offers a masterclass in modern business strategy. The first and most important lesson: customer obsession. Amazon starts with the customer and works backward. The second key lesson: long-term thinking. Jeff Bezos prioritized long-term market leadership over short-term profitability. The third lesson: foster a culture of ceaseless innovation. Day one mentality, treating every day like the first day of a startup. The fourth principle: data-driven decisions. Intuition has its place, but at Amazon, data is king. The fifth and final lesson: building a connected ecosystem. Prime, Alexa, AWS do not exist in isolation. They work together to create a flywheel of value, where each part of the system makes the others more valuable, locking customers in and creating a competitive moat that is incredibly difficult to breach. These lessons are not just applicable to e-commerce. They provide a powerful framework for any leader or organization seeking to build something truly enduring in the 21st century.